Let's talk a little NBA, the biggest news so far. John Wall and the Rockets are parting ways. Rockets going in a little bit of a different direction. They're kind of in rebuild now, building around that young core. John Wall is in win now mode. He kind of rebranded himself last season. A little bit of a comeback tour, I guess you could say. What do you think of this news? First of all, are you surprised? And what are some landing spots for him?
I'm not terribly surprised at this, Michelle. John Wall makes a ton of money. So they're going to have to get real creative on how they move that contract around, because that Rockets team is going to be young, fun, and cheap. You got Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Josh Christopher, lots of guys over there. And John Wall's a guy who needs to win now. His best years are, he's currently in his best years, believe it or not, and he's not getting any younger. So as far as teams are concerned, the team that jumps off the list immediately is the Los Angeles Clippers. All right, they've got a lot of pieces out there that you would love to see them paired with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Well, if Kawhi Leonard's healthy, but John Wall's a guy who can immediately keep that team with title hopes within that picture. And the second team I got in mind is a team that kind of solves two problems at once, and it's the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, you got
I thought the 76ers too.
Yeah,
yes.
You got Ben Simmons who wants a new start somewhere. You got John Wall who wants to go somewhere and compete for a championship alongside another superstar player. I mean, I think it's a trade that kind of helps both sides there, Michelle.
Yeah, you know what? Because the biggest thing I noticed that the Rockets were going to be losing, and that they're still looking for, is that veteran-esque presence. Maybe not a John Wall veteran-esque presence, but a player like Ben Simmons, who's been in the league for a while. It hasn't worked out the way he wanted, but he's got that experience. A change of scenery for him where they could really build around him could be a great spot. That was actually the first team that kind of jumped off the page to me. The problem is, though, I think he's owed $91.7 million through his next 2 years. So that's a really hefty contract to pick up, and I don't know if really any team can realistically make that work.
I don't know, but thinking about Ben Simmons with that young core of Jalen Green, Josh Christopher, Kevin Porter Jr., a lot of bucket-getting guys, and letting Ben Simmons just be Ben and not try to be anybody else, that's an exciting team to watch. So who knows? We'll see.
All right, good stuff. Let's move on. All right, we know that the Giants maybe underwhelmed us in their opening week. The question is, can they bounce back on Thursday against the Washington football team? Really looking to avoid going 0-2 once again. What do you think here?
Michelle, I've heard people saying this is a must-win game, and I need Giant fans.
A must-win in week 2 seems a little dramatic to me, week 2, I'm gonna say.
Take a drink of water, take a deep breath. Remember, you're in the NFC East, and the Philadelphia Eagles are the only team who won.
Although, I will say, I was worried about you in the first half of the Jets game. I was about to text you and be like, how you doing, bud? What's your pulse?
Listen, Zach, second half made me very okay with that loss.
He redeemed himself.
But when it comes to Big Blue, I think what fans are really worried about is if the New York Giants lose and Daniel Jones continues to look like somebody who can't be that guy under center. Because you look at the rest of these games coming up, you got the Atlanta Falcons, who are probably going to be thirsty for a win. You got the New Orleans Saints, who look great. The Cowboys, who look great even though they just lost another star player. The Rams, the Panthers, the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Buccaneers. That is, I don't know where you find a win out of these teams, you know. So I hope they win. I hope the Washington football team wins. I hope they beat the Washington football team. And,
Careful. Careful.
I mean, they got Tyler Heineke lining up under center, but they still got to worry about that impressive front four for the Washington football team. So we'll see. I wouldn't call it must win yet, but they damn sure need to look good doing it.
I'm pumping the brakes on must win in week 2, but you're absolutely right. A huge test for the O-line this week, and a huge test for the defensive line as well, to try to maybe capitalize on the fact that you've got a backup quarterback in there. Don't let the Washington football team rally around the fact that they've got that backup in there. Instead, make it very difficult for him to execute any of his game plans. So, all right, with that, it's time for our Caesar Sportsbook, and right now we are looking at the over-under for 40.5 points total in that game. And I'm gonna jump in on this one first. I feel like that's high, and I know that we differ on this, because I just feel like you've got a backup quarterback in. He's learning the system again quickly. I know he had a great playoff game last year, but I don't know. I feel like 40 points overall is going to be tough, especially with the way the Giants' offensive line is going to be tested and how quickly Daniel Jones is probably going to have to make some decisions, which he doesn't always make the best decisions when he's under pressure. So that feels high to me.
Yeah,
I'm going to go under.
There's a handful of things there that kind of bothers me, right? Like, you got the Washington football team defense, which is a high-scoring defense as well. And when you think about those quarterbacks, yes, Tyler Heineke is a backup, but he probably knows that Washington scheme more than Ryan Fitzpatrick does. So you can't really necessarily look at it as a complete, this is a backup quarterback sort of thing. So I'm going to take the over here. I think if it is a game and if it is close, it's going to have to be a shootout. Daniel Jones is going to have to figure out that Washington football team defense. But again, I'm not betting. I'm not putting my money on it. I'm putting someone else's because I'm not necessarily sure. But I think we shouldn't sleep on Tyler Heineke having a possible lights out game on Thursday.